What's good?
Oh, what is going on? Welcome to the Rhody Wrestling Recap Podcast, where we are going to be talking everything pretty much WWE. Yes, this is
Yeah,
going to be very WWE specific
no
because we don't
AEW
watch the other
garbage.
shows. Okay, well, I wasn't going to go there, but anyway, so we got one heck of an episode in store for you. We're going to be talking a bunch of stuff. So make sure you stay tuned and keep watching because odds are you're going to like one of the topics that are part of our episodes. But we're going to get right into it. I guess we should start by introducing ourselves. The Rhody in the name, well, I'll just kind of explain that because not a lot of people are going to randomly pick up on that. But we are both from Rhode Island. Well, I'm still in Rhode Island. Your boy here has moved away, but he still embraces his roots.
Yes, sir.
Just two guys that love wrestling and wanted to talk about it in a public forum. Don't really know any other way to explain what we're doing here. Say that kind of wraps it up.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, so let's get right into the episode. So we wanted to start off with the news that came out yesterday. WWE 2k24. There are two covers.
My boy.
You have Cody Rhodes on the standard edition, and then Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair on the deluxe edition cover, and then I believe there's an icon edition which has I don't know what the cover. I think I don't know if that's going to be
years
based.
Of WrestleMania cover.
Is it? So
Andre the Giant, Hulk Hogan, Macho Man, Shawn Michaels.
That'd be cool. But at the end of the day, we don't buy the physical copies anymore, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it really doesn't matter. But the covers are
we buy
sick.
the digital editions, and it's just going to be that little tile in my games and apps. That's
pretty
all
much.
It's gonna be. But hey, it's still really cool as a person to be told, hey, you're going to be on the cover of our yearly video game.
Of course.
And I think they picked a great three. And to have the two women on the deluxe edition, it's a great move.
Yeah, 100%.
I think you have Rhea, who is on top of her game. She's obviously the women's champion. You have Cody, who is probably the workhorse of the company right now. Bianca,
John Cena. Oh. Anyways.
I'm not even gonna acknowledge that.
He's a John Cena of this generation, bro.
No, he's not.
He is. I'm telling you.
The guy hasn't won any. What has he done? We're not even here to talk about that. We are here to talk about WWE 2k24. And there's a lot, I think, to look forward to in it. I think we're with the new matches and all the new content that we'll be getting. And, I haven't seen the official roster. I don't even know if they released it, but I think the game looked amazing in the trailer.
Oh, of course. The graphics
From what we could
insane.
see, I think player models were crisp. They were elite.
Yes.
So I know we're getting that 40 years of WrestleMania mode. I did see a tweet last night that said there's only going to be 21 matches.
Yeah, that's kind of disappointing.
In the 40. How are you going to call it 40 years of WrestleMania and not have 39 matches? Because obviously this game is going to come out. You're not going to have the WrestleMania 40 match.
Yeah, true. But we are getting the WrestleMania 40 stage for the first time ever.
That'll be cool.
We're getting this year's WrestleMania.
Yeah, dude, and it looks sick. It looks good.
Yeah, for real.
The attention to detail that they've done this year is insane. And I think 2K really stepped it up this year for WWE.
100%. The graphics are insane. The player models are crazy. Undertaker looks like the Undertaker.
Yeah, everybody really, obviously it still looks like a video game, but they look as close as they can get to what they can look like, without, obviously, it looking pretty real.
Yeah.
So, I think cutscenes in, the showcase or anything like that are going to look, I think they're going to take that step forward, and it's not going to be as, because this year they looked very animated. I think we're going to see a lot more realistic looking cutscenes and things you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The player models aren't going to look like cartoons.
Yep.
And then we have the not new modes but new matches. You know, we got the ambulance match, the casket match,
special guest ref.
Special referee.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna fuck you over.
I figured. And then, so I saw that if you do a Royal Rumble, you can have like 8 people. So like, we could, if we knew 8 people, we could have in a 30-man Royal Rumble.
Damn, if we knew.
But we don't
know.
We don't know 8 people, so not worried about that one. And then there was something else that you could do, like 4 people. I forget what it was.
They have create a superstar, obviously. Create a so that's female and male. They have create a referee, which is sick. They have create a sign, so you can hold up your own custom posters in the crowd. That's sick.
Thank God, because the one I remember, like, going through like the My Career or whatever they called it, the My Rise, and you know how like you can assign the signs that are up. They're always so stupid and generic.
Facts.
It's like, I love WWE. This is awesome. Like,
yeah,
none of this. And then there's like a couple superstar specific ones, and it's like, I'm obviously not going to put up one of those. Like, that's dumb.
Yeah, that is pretty stupid.
Now, here's one thing I am hoping for. 40 years of WrestleMania, right? I'm hoping that, you know, the superstars that we've seen that have changed their music, we have their old music in the game.
Well, Burning Lights is probably going to be in the game because we're getting Randy Orton versus, who was it? John Cena and Triple H?
Burning My Light, by the way.
Yeah, same shit.
I knew what you meant, though.
We're getting that match in the... It's confirmed, I think.
But give me CM Punk's old theme back.
Yo, for real! For real.
Give me it.
Give me it. What's the name of that song?
But
it's Fire Burns.
Also give me
Fire Burns.
Give me Doctor of Thugonomics.
True.
Give me... Who else is...
Give me Roland.
I mean, I know The Miz used to have... The Miz used to have a different one.
For The Undertaker.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. When he was the American Badass.
Yes, sir.
Anyways, I think it's something that we could see. It's something that they should add in that we could see and would be really, really cool to have. Because I know, like, usually every year, whenever I'm doing the My Rise, I just use Batista's, which is obviously still in the game.
Yeah.
And probably will still be in the game, but it's like, if I could use, like, Punk's old theme or something like that, like, I'd probably do that, because Punk's old theme is fire.
Top 3.
We'll save that for another episode.
Top 3.
But yeah, I think the game is gonna be really, really good. I guess I'm excited to see kind of what they do with my faction this year. I haven't seen anything about it.
I hope it's better than last year. I appreciate the fact that they made it online last year, but they did not make like a ranking system like other Ultimate teams. So I'm hoping to see a record, because we didn't even get a record for online play last year. You just played matches and didn't even know if you won or lost. Well,
I didn't even play. Like, I think I did like those towers thing.
I did
a couple of those matches, but I got like really bored and I was like, all right, I'm done.
I played like 6 matches. I don't even know my record because they didn't have a record.
Yeah, so it's just those little attention to details that I think they could add in, hopefully.
For sure.
But other than that, like I said, I think the game looks really good. I think the player models look really good. I think the new match types are going to be really fun. Like, I remember the old SmackDown versus Raw. I think those had the casket matches, and those were always like,
yeah,
as
pretty
a
fun.
Like 7, 8, 9-year-old. I'm like, yeah, this shit's fun. Like, I don't know what I'm doing, but hey, it's fun.
I really wish, not gonna lie, they did not do a showcase mode and they brought back Road to WrestleMania. But that's never gonna happen because 2K is not.
Well, you gotta
THQ.
remember. Yeah, I mean, Road to WrestleMania, I think, was more of their, like, well, there was like a career mode or whatever, because you were just doing something with that, right? Where you like made Roman Reigns and like SmackDown versus Raw 08 or whatever.
Yep.
So it's like, but I think they obviously I don't think there was a lot of attention to detail in that, and they kind of really focused on that Road to WrestleMania thing.
Yeah, for sure.
So I think now that you have the showcase, now that you have My Rise, like I don't think we're ever going to see a Road to WrestleMania again.
Unfortunately, because
it is what it is. It was a great mode. It was a very cool mode.
Those stories are very creative and something you'll never get to see on TV.
No, not at all.
Like I was playing the Undertaker one before we move on, and you literally turn Finlay and Santino into zombies. With
you'll never see that.
That was so cool. I was like, damn, that's pretty fire. All right, we can move on.
So, I guess now we've talked about 2K and kind of wrapped that up. Let's move on to the Rumble. So, broke up a couple different ideas, or thought of a couple different ideas that we could kind of go over. Obviously, we can start with our predictions of what we think is going to happen. Come Rumble season, Rumble time, Rumble night. We can talk. I'm going to be honest, like, the women's Rumble, I mean, it's going to be cool to see, because, like, now that they finally have their own Rumble, you know, obviously the women's division has become much more prominent, and which is a good thing. You know, I remember, like, 15 years ago, they'd get, like, one match on Raw, and then maybe they'd get a match at the pay-per-view. Yeah, so, I mean, the women's division is elite now, and I think them being much more involved is awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
And the fact that they have, like, more than just the women's championship, like, there's a tag title. They do need a mid-card title, though, I'll admit that.
They need to get rid of the tag titles, in my opinion.
You think?
And bring in, like, a women's Intercontinental Championship or something.
They need to do something
because
the men have a mid-card.
Their tag team division is so put together, it's ridiculous. Like, they put, who is it? Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark together.
Stark.
What kind of tag team is that?
And then they're always arguing mid-match. They always win, but then there's always an argument in the middle. It's like, what are you doing? Just fight, dude.
The only true tag teams in that division are the Kabuki Warriors, which is Damage Control, and
who is cringe. Dude, I'm sorry. That little segment they had last night, that was cringe as hell.
Nah.
Whatever the hell is it Kairi Sane, right? Whatever the hell she was doing in the ring, she was like stomping like a little 6-year-old. I was like, what are you doing? And then she did this weird little, like, what the fuck are you doing? Anyway, we're moving on. Rumble predictions. Let's you start. What is your prediction of what is going to happen during the Rumble?
For what match? The Rumble?
Let's do men's, I guess. Oh, well, men's Rumble. Yeah, okay. Actually, no. Let's not start. Let's start with the
big
what
one?
Everybody thinks. Let's go with the Fatal 4-Way.
Oh shit. Okay,
because I not that I have a theory, but I have an idea of something for the Rumble.
So I feel like for the Fatal 4-Way, we're obviously getting LA Knight, AJ Styles, Randy Orton, and Roman Reigns.
I don't think AJ is going to be involved in that match at all.
Really?
I don't think he's going to be involved. I think someone's going to kick his ass, and then he's going to lay outside.
I think we're going to get a whole shit ton of shenanigans during that match.
Oh, I think so, too, for sure. There's no disqualification. You're going to get Jimmy and Solo. 110%.
Jimmy, Jay, Solo, Cody, The Rock.
I don't believe in that as much as I think other people do yet.
I
could be wrong. He could show up and try to. I don't know. I just don't know where his place in the storyline is yet. All he's done is say, "Oh, should I sit at the head of the table?"
That was insane, though. That was insane. Oh, I got chills. I got chills, dude. I was like, "Oh, I shit my pants when he said that."
I wasn't expecting it. I'm like, what is this guy saying? He's like asking where he's gonna sit when he goes out tonight. And then when he said head of the, I was like,
Yeah, for
like
real.
chills down my spine.
Yeah. Okay, so
But
I think a bunch of shenanigans are gonna happen.
oh, for sure, for sure.
Yes, The Rock is gonna come. He's going to shit on Roman Reigns.
You think, huh?
I think that sets up their match for WrestleMania. Roman Reigns is nowhere to be found. Randy Orton hits an RKO on LA Knight, pins LA Knight, and wins the title.
Really? So you think Randy walks out champ?
Of course.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna be.
What was it?
It was good.
Was it? You're still eating. All right. Love you.
Love you.
So I've kind of been back and forth on this because obviously you're gonna have the. I think you're gonna get Rock versus Roman at WrestleMania, but it's like, is Roman going to walk in champion?
No.
Because is Rock versus Roman, because you're gonna have the Royal Rumble. And then I was thinking about it, and I do think that we are gonna get Rock versus Roman, but Roman is going to walk into WrestleMania as the undisputed Universal WWE Champion. I do think that Roman Reigns wins that match. 110%.
I think it's big enough for it not to be for the title, though.
Oh, it for sure is. The Rock versus Roman Reigns. It is absolutely
so
one of the
why
bigger
does it
matches.
need a title? It can main event
I don't
without the title.
See, I agree with you there. I don't think you need the title, but it's going to be there.
I don't think so.
Because what I think is going to happen is you are going to see Roman Reigns. And I don't understand why I think this, but I think that Roman is going to have one of his classic matches where he puts on a show.
With no shenanigans?
I think Roman is going to... Oh, I think there's going to be shenanigans. But I think it's going to come from all sides where, yes, the bloodline's going to get involved, but I do think there's going to be some sort of combat there. Like you said, Punk or Cody and Jay. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe not. There is a world where nothing happens. Right?
True.
Is that likely?
No.
No.
Absolutely not.
But it could happen. But anyways, I do think that Roman is gonna, and I don't want to seem like that guy that is like, riding Roman, but you can't discount the fact that he's been able to hold on this long, and I do think Randy's a threat. I think he's the only threat.
In that match, 100%.
But like I said, I don't see AJ being involved. I do see Roman winning somehow, some way.
I don't
really know.
I don't see that. I don't see that. I see Randy Orton walking out as champion.
Because and the only reason I say that is because I don't see the Rumble winner going after Roman. I think
they're going after
you're going to go
Rollins.
into the Rumble. Because I think... So, hold on. We're getting there. Anyway, so I think, obviously, like I said, AJ Styles will not be involved in this match. Very little. I could be wrong. He could dominate and win. Not happening. But
that is not happening.
That's not happening. AJ is... I've liked that he's back and they're using him because the guy's been in WWE how long now and hasn't really done anything. I mean, you won the title once. That was cool.
He was champion for a while.
Yeah. But I think then you see LA Knight in the Rumble at some point for the pop.
Yeah, for sure.
He's probably going to be in the middle somewhere, kind of where like the Rumble starts to like no one cares, like 15, 16, 17, where it's like kind of just stretching along. And you need that pop in the middle.
How about we give
Roman Reigns
5 surprise entrants that we think are coming back?
Well, yeah, we're definitely going to get into that. But yeah, I definitely think LA Knight walks in, is an entrant in the middle somewhere. And I think the Rumble does come... So in the final 3, I think it's going to come down to CM Punk,
LA Knight and Cody Rhodes.
Cody Rhodes, and Gunther. I think Gunther is going to be in the end again.
Okay.
And I think Gunther is going to eliminate Cody.
Yeah.
And get revenge for last year.
Yep. I see
but
that.
I think Punk wins. Punk wins and goes after Seth at WrestleMania.
100%.
And main events WrestleMania night 1.
Yep.
Because Roman Rock will be night 2.
Of course.
Now, whether that's even for the champion, I mean, it should be.
It won't be.
It won't. You don't need the title to be involved.
It won't be.
And the thing is I think WWE wants Roman to break at least Hogan's record.
There's no way he's breaking
because
Bruno.
I think no, dude, he'd have to be champ for like 8 years. He'd have to be champion through like 2028.
Yeah,
that's never gonna happen. That won't happen.
That's a force.
I don't even think Roman Reigns will be in WWE at that point. I think he's gonna pull a John Cena and go off to Hollywood. I think Roman Reigns is our John Cena.
Yikes.
He's the most dominant champion of all time. He is on top of his game. He is that guy.
Is he, though?
How is he not?
He can't win by himself.
No one ever said he could. I mean, no one thinks he can. But he's never...
He also...
I think he can. I think he could.
He also has only had, like, 53 title defenses.
And that... I mean, yeah. This was a really bad year for him. He only had, 11 matches? So,
yeah,
I do think he needs to take a step forward this year.
3 of them weren't even for the title.
Yeah. I do think he needs to take a step forward this year for sure. And I think if in 2024, if we really start to see a dominant Roman, where he's winning matches on his own and like not even like I mean like straight up winning, I think we could see a Roman for another year or so as champ, because I don't know who's gonna beat him. I don't think Cody dethrones him. I think Cody is Cody's gonna be a champ, but I don't think he dethrones Roman. I don't think
he does either.
I think we're going to have a transitional champion somewhere.
I think Randy Orton wins at the Rumble, faces Cody at Mania.
That would be a cool match, but how does Cody get to...
Elimination Chamber?
Now, that's another question.
What happened?
Are we going to see...
Seth Rollins being injured? I don't believe he will be defending in Elimination Chamber. At Elimination Chamber.
True.
I think it'll be a #1 contenders match.
See, I hate that. I think that's so stupid. A #1 contenders Elimination Chamber match. That is so dumb. That is the dumbest thing.
It is pretty stupid.
We've had them, and it's like, why am I watching this?
It is pretty stupid.
I remember back in the day, the Elimination Chamber matches, the title was on the line, they were hectic, the Elimination Chamber is not what it used to be.
It's also padded now.
Yeah.
The floor is padded now, and the glass is not real glass anymore.
No, it's like the hard plastic shit.
Yeah.
Like, give us the OG, like, and I get it, it's all a safety thing, and you want your superstars to be safe, but it's like these guys have gone, like, maybe not these guys, but I mean, give us, like, the whole hype behind the Elimination Chamber is it's an unrelenting, hard cage that is going to be hell for your body.
Yeah, for sure.
That was always the hype behind it. I remember growing up, I used to be, like, as a little kid, I'm like, I'd be shaking in my boots. Even thinking about me being in an elimination, I'd be scared out of my mind. And they used to have that guy with like the deep voice, like commentating, like the ad or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
But so that's what I think is going to happen. Is I think Punk wins the Rumble, challenges Cody at WrestleMania, or challenges Seth. I keep saying I keep getting them. I don't know why. Challenges Seth at WrestleMania, wins the World Heavyweight title, and then night 2 is Rock Roman. Whether that's for the title or not, I don't know. But now, who are a couple of people that you think are going to show up in the Rumble? Surprise entrance, whatever.
As I've been saying recently, John Cena.
I can, but I can't.
John Cena.
Now that Hollywood's back up and running, I think he's probably going to be filming something. I can't see him, but he could. He very well could. Speaking of John Cena, we just made like the profile for this podcast like yesterday, and he followed us on Twitter. Like, we are followed by John Cena on Twitter. So John, if you're watching this, what's good?
What's up, John? I hated you for a while. Now I love you.
You are my goat for now. You are my goat. I love you. Anyway, all right, back to what we were saying. Surprise entrance.
So John Cena.
You said John Cena.
For some odd reason, they took him off the AEW roster. You know where I'm going with this?
I know where you're going with this. I know exactly what you're going to say.
They took him off the roster. So, like, where else could he be going?
I don't think he leaves AEW.
I think he does. I think MJF comes to the Rumble. I think MJF comes. I mean,
it could be cool for sure. But I think it would it would break the internet.
100%.
I think
it would be another. It would be another CM Punk moment.
Oh, absolutely. And I think AEW would.
That would be
they wouldn't know what to do.
Fat loss.
I don't think Tony Khan would know what to do.
That would be the biggest loss. Next to CM Punk. You lost
Cody and Punk in the last 2-3 years, and now you're gonna lose your star.
Yeah, you're
screwed.
That's tough. All empty wrestling.
Like,
is gonna get
who
much
is your
more
star
empty.
now? Samoa Joe?
Yeah, Samoa Joe is their world champion.
That dude's washed. Washed.
I
never liked Samoa Joe. I'll be honest.
I love Samoa Joe.
I never liked him.
He's pretty cool.
Even in TNA, I couldn't stand him.
You didn't like him in TNA, dude?
Nope. Was never a Samoa Joe fan.
All right, number 3. Zack Ryder makes an appearance.
I would lose it.
I feel like Zack Ryder is going to be there.
Dude, if we hear his music, we have to like sing along.
Woo woo woo.
Like, if I hear that, oh my god, I might jump through the ceiling.
The next 2 are going to be NXT. I feel like Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes are both going.
I think Carmelo for sure. I don't know if that's gonna really be a surprise because I mean he's been on the main. I know he's still NXT. Is he still NXT technically? But he's been like on SmackDown. He's been on the main roster matches. So I as much of a surprise entrant you could call him, I don't think it would be a surprise because he has been on the main roster.
Okay, well,
Trick
Williams is 100% coming.
Yeah, dude, I've been like I've watched some of his highlights, like just like scrolling through like social media, and he's good.
The Deadline,
I told you I don't watch a lot of NXT.
The Deadline finish to that match, what was it? The Iron Survivor match or whatever. I was there live when the bell rang and they played his music. That was the most hype moment I've ever been a part of in WWE. More hype than when CM Punk came out on SmackDown. It was insane. I think CM Punk would have been more hype coming out when everybody broke out into the CM Punk chant when they turned all the lights off. Yeah.
Rather than just out of nowhere. Like, it was still cool, but like...
No, when his music hits...
His Punk moment is obviously him coming back at Survivor Series after the match.
Insane. I still can't believe he's back.
Yeah, I literally said it to you I texted you last night. I'm like, I still like him when he was cutting the promo. I'm like, I can't believe this guy's back.
It's insane. He said he would never be back, and he's here.
That's because Vince is gone.
True.
He did say that the company would be better off if Vince was unalived, but I think with Triple H taking over, and I don't think Triple H is riding on Vince's coattails because I think WWE is in a much better spot than it was with Vince.
100%. 1,000%.
I think the booking is so much better. I think we're in such a great spot. I think wrestling is at an all-time high right now. WWE especially.
2023, in my opinion, is the best wrestling I have ever watched.
I think it was a great year for WWE, and I think obviously we're only going to see more.
Of course.
But for my surprise entrance, I don't know if I really have surprises. You know, last night Hulk Hogan kind of teased that you and it was crazy because like I didn't even realize, like I kind of stopped paying attention after he was taking credit for everybody. I'm like, dude, like what? So I kind of just picked up my phone and I was scrolling around, and then you were like, did he just tease himself? I'm like, what? And then I went onto Twitter and looked it up. I was like, oh shit. So I think the timing's convenient. I could see it happening, but he's not going to be in the Rumble long. I think
70 years old.
They're going to give him a spotlight for a minute and like let him hit a couple moves. Like he'll hit his leg drop and that's if he's in. Anyway, like I said, I do see Roman kind of dominating that Fatal 4-Way. So not that it's a surprise, but I think LA Knight is going to be in the Rumble.
Yeah.
Like I said, that he's going to be in that middle kind of where they need a pop.
Yep.
I don't really know who else. Like it's not something I really thought about. Haven't really seen much else. But so I don't really have a long list of surprise entrances like you do.
Now for the women's though, I have 3 people. I don't have 5. And you probably know all 3 of them.
I have one idea for a surprise entrant in the Rumble. In the women's.
Who?
Trish.
Okay. Yeah. I feel like she'll come back.
Trish. She's already hinted at it.
Yeah, I feel like she'll come back again.
Now, if I get to see Trish on TV at the Rumble, I ain't going to say, but you know. You know how I feel about my Trish.
Yep. All right, I think Trinity comes back. Naomi,
okay. Yep. Well, she just wrapped up with TNA, right?
Yep.
But everybody knew she was going to come back, so her coming back in the Rumble would be fire.
Yep. Sasha Banks potentially. I don't see it necessarily happening, but like all the tweets, all the Instagram stories, everything is just leading up to her coming back.
Yeah, I kind of gave up on her though.
Why?
I don't know. I've been seeing a lot of like, oh, she could show up on AEW at some point soon, and I was like, I don't know,
if
but
she goes to AEW, that's an L for her. I'm sorry.
It's an L for anybody going there right now.
Oh, and AJ Lee.
AJ would be sick. But
I think I would. That's my Trish. I would go.
Yeah, but I
would go nuts.
AJ even said that she's done, but I mean, but like you said, so did Punk. But Punk also said that 10 years ago. So I mean, AJ's been out for a lot long. I mean, not a lot longer because she stuck around for a bit.
Yeah,
after he walked out.
She stayed till like 2016, 2015.
But like I said, I think Trish is like my one surprise entrant. But I think the winner of the Rumble, if I had to pick one,
Bayley.
Yeah, I didn't think about Bayley.
Either Bayley or Becky.
No,
Either
Becky.
Bayley or Becky.
Becky's not winning. Becky's not winning again.
Becky goes to face Rhea.
I didn't even think about Bayley. But I think if Bayley wins now that I think about it, I think when everybody thought Damage Control was going to turn on, I think that kind of sets up the storyline of her challenging Io at WrestleMania.
Yep. It's going to happen. I'm telling you, it's going to happen.
And then I was going to say like Liv Morgan maybe.
Liv Morgan would be good. Liv Morgan versus Rhea
cool
Ripley would be a pretty good match at WrestleMania, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Bianca could be a cool winner. Give her that. Like I know she's been champion, but really give her that run again.
I hate her.
I don't hate her, but I just I don't know.
She's like Seth
I feel
Rollins.
like her title run was
like
I feel like her
Super
title run was
Cena.
very boring. Yeah, like there wasn't much to it, and I think Rhea is having the same kind of run. Like she's not doing anything.
Yeah, that is true.
I feel like they're really like under booking
Rhea
the
Ripley
run
right now.
Yeah, for sure. Then again, I don't know if it's because they're trying to make her look big for the Judgment Day storyline, which that needs to end. I'm so sick of the Judgment Day. I'm so sick of it. Like the characters that they're portraying feel so forced. It's cringy. Like it doesn't work. Like I've said this time and time again. Finn Balor, the character's not working for him. I'm sorry,
he
it's
needs
not.
to be a face.
You can't have Finn Balor as a heel.
He's a miles better as a face.
And like his Judgment Day persona feels so forced. Like every time I hear him talk, he's trying to be this bad boy that he's not. It's like you are not that dude, Finn. You are a face. You are a great wrestler. I love Finn Balor. I think he's a great guy, but this Judgment Day has to end.
I feel like if he never got hurt,
We go from the women's because we were talking about Rhea. I was like, how do we go from the women's Rumble to Judgment Day? But
I feel like if Finn never got hurt versus Rollins, he would be
that sucked.
He would be the Roman Reigns right now. He would be the face of WWE.
Maybe I could see it. I could see it. I think he kind of got put on the back burner for the last couple of years.
Unfortunately, because he is really good.
Yeah, I mean Finn's good, but they gotta end this Judgment Day stuff. I'm sick of it. It's
How
annoying.
do you think it ends?
Our truth is the only honestly for me. Our truth is the only thing giving it life for me.
How do you think it ends,
Dude,
though?
our truth is hilarious.
What do you think they do to split them up?
I don't know. I don't know. Because I can't see a path of them splitting up, but I don't know. I thought it was going to happen months ago when Finn and Damian were arguing.
Yeah, I thought that as well.
I thought that was going to cause the split, but it hasn't happened. I could see maybe if they dropped the tag titles.
I thought that's when Damian was actually going to cash in. When Rollins and Balor...
And then Damian blew it.
Yep.
I don't know. I could see maybe them losing the tag titles if Rhea loses her title, if everyone's just on the losing streak and they're all arguing with each other and then someone goes after one of the others, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's our Rumble. I think we kind of predicted, or who we want to win, and kind of, I think we both have solid ideas, so I guess we'll just see what happens at the Rumble.
I'm really hoping CM Punk wins.
Oh, I think it's almost undoubted that he's going to win the Rumble.
I mean,
I think it's
they could do
undoubted.
something. They could do something unpredictable though. They could have Gunther win, and go face Rollins.
Gunther's still the
And be
champ,
a
though.
double
They're not going to have a
champion.
double champion again. They don't want a double. I have a feeling WWE doesn't want a double champion again.
But he's dominant. He can be a double
Oh, he's
champion.
dominant for sure, but I don't think WWE wants another double champ.
And he actually puts on good matches, Seth Rollins, unlike you.
Especially a mid-card and a main event title. Can't see that.
I mean, they did it
I
with
think
Rollins.
Gunther's going to have to somehow drop that title. And Kofi challenging for it. Kofi is the Intercontinental Champion.
He hasn't been Intercontinental Champion since, like, 2009. 2008.
Yeah, he could be next week.
I don't know.
I don't think he's going to.
Before we move on...
I miss Jamaican Kofi.
Before we move on, can you guys in the comments tell me why the fuck a lower deck ticket is $306?
For what?
SmackDown. I paid $306 for a SmackDown
I told
ticket.
you it was stupid money, and you didn't listen to me.
Dude!
I told you.
That is
You're
so overpriced. It's ridiculous.
Because it's at a casino.
I don't think that's why. I think it's because it's the week before WrestleMania.
It could be the week before WrestleMania, but I think it being at a venue like that has to do with it.
Yeah, because the tickets were already expensive. They were like 120
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
for like Upper Deck.
So now that we're kind of talking about WrestleMania, and kind of like things leading up to WrestleMania, Drew McIntyre is a free agent after WrestleMania as of this moment. He has not re-signed a contract. He is set to be a free agent the night 12:01, the night after WrestleMania, Sunday morning. Or 12, because 12 isn't. I don't know why I said 12:01. I don't know. 12:01 sounds cooler than 12. You know what I meant. Okay? Screw off. But Drew McIntyre is a free agent.
I think he goes.
I'm going to be honest with you.
Continue.
I'm fine with him walking.
I think he goes back to TNA.
I can't see a world where Drew has a shot in WWE anymore.
I think he goes back to TNA.
Honestly, I didn't even know he was on TNA.
I'm pretty sure he was at TNA for a little while.
I don't know, between his first WWE run and his second. I didn't pay attention to him at all in between.
Well,
so
he was in the independent scene for like 2-3 years.
Gotcha. Didn't know that. Honestly, I had no idea what happened to him, and then he came back. I was like, oh shit. Drew McIntyre.
That's why him and Cody have a similar story, because they both
They don't.
They both
don't at all.
grew their characters in the independent scene.
Now, what sucks for me is I loved Drew McIntyre. I thought he was going to be this dominant, like, I hated him at first. Like, during his first WWE run, I wanted this guy to screw off. But his current WWE run, I thought he's this big dominant guy that was going to beat everybody. Now he's just a big softy that complains when he doesn't get his way, and it's annoying now. Now it's just annoying. It's like, dude,
I want him to walk out.
You've had chance time and time again, and you've done nothing with it. And you just blame everybody else but yourself.
Yep.
Leave. I'm fine with him walking. I really am. And I just don't see where he has a path in WWE where he's going to be the guy on top.
For sure.
Because you have Randy Orton back. You have Cody Rhodes. You have CM Punk. You're probably, in a year or two, could have Carmelo Hayes.
Yep.
I still think, and you brought up the Finn Balor point, I think if Judgment Day splits up, you're going to have Finn Balor on top, because Finn Balor is a fan-loved fighter.
For sure.
You know, I think Brock Lesnar's going to come back and have a run at some point. He'll win the world title again at some point. I think LA Knight's going to be a champion. Obviously, you still have Roman Reigns. Like, you just don't have space for Drew McIntyre.
Take out Carmelo Hayes from my predictions. Brock Lesnar comes back at the Rumble. He throws out Gunther. And it sets up an Intercontinental
been teased to be
champion.
coming back. You think he wins the Intercontinental Championship?
Yep.
Is that what you just said?
Yep.
It's gonna be he's one guy that I think could beat Gunther for sure.
Gunther versus
But do you think
Lesnar
wants a mid-card title?
I mean, it has the prestige now.
True. I mean, the Intercontinental title is I mean, Gunther's done a lot for it. The Miz has always done a lot for it.
I feel like the Intercontinental Championship is more like of a world title than the world title. The world
because I feel like Seth has really downgraded the world title.
I think AJ Styles
I don't feel like he treats it as the world title.
I think AJ Styles should have won that match for the world title.
I don't know who I think should have beaten Seth, but it needs to end.
Yeah, it's very boring.
But I don't think Triple H believes in Damian being champion.
It is very boring.
And I think that's why cash-in after cash-in attempt has been screwed over and failed.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so, like I said, I just don't think McIntyre has a spot in WWE anymore. So I think he walks.
There's too many people now.
There's just too much for him to be at the top.
Yep.
So I think And I don't know if he even, he could be that guy that doesn't even want to be at the top. Like, he could be that full-timer that, keeps saying he wants to win the title and needs to win the title, but he could just be that guy that's there to put people over. Kind of like Cena's been when he comes back. Cena's going to lose every time he's back now. He's not here to win. He's here to put guys over.
That Solo Sikoa match was great.
But it hasn't worked, in my opinion. But that's a conversation for another time. The next thing I wanted to address, kind of bounce back to the Rumble. I probably should have brought this point up first. So last night on Raw, they were advertising the card for the Royal Rumble, and even though a certain someone is injured, he did say that he was going to be a fighting champion and screw what the doctors have to say, and he was going to continue to fight, but there is going to be no Seth at the Royal Rumble.
I'm fine.
So we are going to see Seth Rollins as World Heavyweight Champion through the Rumble.
I'm fine with that.
Okay. I mean, I didn't think it was too big of a point. I think that when you have one of your 4 main PLEs, you need to have your world title defended.
I mean, as we said earlier, it's not really... It doesn't feel like a world title.
It doesn't, but so it is. It doesn't matter what we think.
It doesn't really matter to me because it doesn't feel like a world title.
And I understand that, but like I said, I do think that it's still a world title. The WWE acknowledges it as the World Heavyweight Championship. And I think, obviously, Seth Rollins being the top guy for Raw, obviously Triple H believes in Seth. Whether we like it or not, it's still a world title. I think it needs to be defended when you have one of your 4 main PLEs. Plain and simple. But then again, we see Roman only show up for the PLEs, but he still defends it at them.
True.
You just have Seth defending it on Raw every week, like it's the United States Open Challenge that John Cena used to have.
Yeah, and a fucking ad-drenched main event.
Yeah, dude, that was so bad. And then, like, I had it open on the USA app, and I'm just sitting there, and, like, they play an ad, and then it just cuts off to we'll be right back. I'm like, in the middle of an ad, like, okay, cool.
Dude, they play, like, 7 minutes of ads.
There were more ads than match during the main event.
What is that?
Hell? I don't know.
What'd you just do?
What was that? I didn't even move anything. I didn't touch anything. What the heck?
Kid just got a like button on him.
I guess so. But yeah, so no Seth at the Rumble. If it's not a big thing for you, I guess it's not really a big thing for me. I think he should have to defend it at when you have one of your main premium live events.
I mean, yes, but he's injured, so I'll let it go.
I guess we can give him the pass for this one time.
Yeah.
If he has it at WrestleMania, he has to fight at WrestleMania. I'm sorry, you can milk the injury, and that's the thing. We had the back injury work, right? And nothing ever really came of it. All of a sudden, the guy's back is fine. Like, no one's really addressed it until Gunther last night. Which, by the way, you did see what I meant when I said Gunther screwed up his promo?
No, I didn't see it. I didn't see the promo.
The guy said Sunday.
Damn.
So he said, Sunday, I'm going to take your title. Dude, literally not even like a second later, the graphic popped up for the Royal Rumble, and then it said this Saturday, but Saturday was like big, bold, and red.
Damn, that's crazy.
So, like, WWE obviously had to scramble to be like, oh, shit, and fix it.
What I do wish they would have done is made the Royal Rumble for the world title.
See, we had that, and I hated it.
You didn't like that when Roman...
No, that was terrible. That was a terrible booking decision.
Really? I thought that Rumble was good.
Nope, that was stupid.
That was the Rumble AJ Styles came. I'm pretty sure.
And Triple H wins it, of course. Like, that was dumb. Like, I get it. That was the Authority storyline and all that, and I get it. I do. That was still the Authority around that time, right?
Yeah.
So I get it. I mean, Roman Reigns didn't didn't he win it back anyway? But at like WrestleMania. I don't know. I don't remember my short-term memory. Actually, that's like long-term now at this.
He faced Triple H at WrestleMania, I'm pretty sure.
I think so. We could be wrong, but anyway, I don't even remember what we were talking about.
That's a while ago. That's like 9 years.
Yeah, AJ Styles has been in the WWE. Yeah, because that was the 2014 Royal Rumble, right?
Yeah.
It was when Roman Reigns was still the big dog.
Yep.
He was still wearing his Shield gear.
That's crazy.
Still using the Shield music. But now he's... I gotta say, as much as I miss the Shield music, and like I miss the Shield, I love his like new aura.
Yeah, for sure.
I think he's just got that like superhero, like dominant like aura to him.
Yep.
So, but yeah, that is pretty much that. And then I think the only other thing we kind of really said we wanted to talk about today was last night. Since we kind of brought up the Gunther thing from last night, let's bring up to me what was really the only big thing to happen last night, and that was Punk Rhodes face to face.
That was
that
insane.
Promo was. It was a little weird at first because I thought it was going to go a much different direction than it did, but it was a great promo, and I think for me, it was one of the only bright spots of Raw. Now I'm a Raw hater, as you know that.
Of course.
I think Raw is
I think SmackDown is better as well.
Oh, SmackDown is 100 times better.
Yeah, for sure.
Raw is so underdeveloped and like underbooked. It's insane. Raw doesn't have
3 hours.
What's crazy is you have Seth Rollins, you've got Cody Rhodes, you've got CM Punk, and yet that show sucks. You got Gunther. That show sucks. I'm sorry.
They do like the same matches every week too.
Yeah, the whole like Ivar versus what the hell's that? The
Chad
name of that
Gable?
little stupid faction.
Or the Alpha Academy.
Whatever that. Yeah, like that. It's this. Ivar has faced all 3 of them in the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's kind of.
Yet somehow the only one that was able to win was Akira Tozawa. What? You put Tozawa over Ivar? Ivar needs to be champion. Anyway, the Punk Rhodes promo, as we were talking about. Right away, I couldn't tell what was going to happen at first because Cody had a mic, and it looked like he was about to start talking, and then Punk came out immediately, and it kind of looked like Cody was thrown off.
Yeah.
He was like, huh? And it almost looked like he didn't know how to react. But what I did like was Punk came in the ring, and the first thing he did was go to shake his hand.
Yep.
I liked the little sign of respect there, and I think that was there, but I think it went out the window very, very quick.
For sure.
Now, what was cool was to have like that little where they took that moment to embrace the crowd.
Oh, that was sick.
That has to be one of the most split crowds I've ever heard.
Yeah, for sure.
Because you could hear the CM Punk, but you could hear the Cody Rhodes chants, and they were just kind of washing over each other. It was a very cool moment. I'll admit.
It was good.
It was a cool moment for sure. And the fact that CM Punk kind of addressed it and said, "Let's just embrace this for a minute." Like, you got your 2 guys at the top. Like, absolutely, take your time with this. I was fine with that. That segment went on for like the whole promo itself went on for 15 minutes. That could have gone on for 40 minutes, and I wouldn't have cared.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, 40 minutes. I think 40 minutes is a stretch.
No, I would have loved it either way.
So then it kind of went into, Cody was like, "So Nola or CM Punk, what do you want to talk about?" The same little line that he uses every time.
Yeah.
Like, whatever. I wish he would find different ways to start his promos or whatever. But then this is where I thought it was going to get weird. Because this seems like this always happens whenever Cody is brought up or Cody's part of something. Punk goes, "I want to talk about your dad."
Yeah.
And I find it just...
I was like,
there's some times where it's like, I feel like this fits. Like, yes, bring up Dusty if you have to. Because there's a point in here where, and we'll kind of get to it. I did write it down as like a point to kind of talk about. Where Punk later on had said, you've done a great job at making your own name, even though it is the Rhodes name, pretty much. So I don't feel like you have to continue to bring up Dusty.
Yeah.
Because Cody is Cody. Like, you don't have to keep bringing it up. And you could see when Punk said, I want to talk about your dad, you could see that look on Cody's face like, okay, here we go. Oh.
The whole episode.
Like, okay,
the whole episode. And
it's because I, like, put my hand down and it moved my... But you could see him kind of like, okay, here we go.
I like that story though that he told about
for sure.
OVW.
So Punk starts out by saying, "Hey, Dusty Rhodes called him and told him Cody's going to OVW. Please look out for him." And then Punk goes on to praise Cody for the work that he's put in and done all that, and obviously done a great job because he's been able to bring himself. He's made his own name. Like, yes, like I was talking about a minute ago, he is Cody Rhodes, the son of the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, but he has made his own name.
Of course.
He's not coattailing the Rhodes name.
Yep. And he did that all on the independent scene. Congratulations.
Yep. I mean, obviously he had his run in WWE, and now he's back in the WWE. But I think he's been able to really, like Punk said, make his own name. And then they kind of talked about, running into each other at the Rumble, because what's going to happen. They are going to spotlight Roman and Cody. What am I doing, dude? Punk, Cody. I keep saying the wrong names. I don't know what's wrong with me today. They're going to get in each other's faces like they did last night, which that was epic, by the way.
Yeah, that was sick.
I was not expecting Punk to grab at Cody like that.
I got chills.
The way he grabbed at him like that, I was like, oh, crap.
I thought he was about to do something.
I thought there was going to be a fight there, but there wasn't. They got face to face, and then they went their own way, which I liked. I think it was another little sign of respect there, like the handshake, just to end it. Like, yeah, let's hype this up, but let's keep it clean. But yeah, so they did talk about that, and I think it was Punk that said running into Cody in the Rumble is going to be bittersweet. And then they had talked about like being friends and all that. How they're friends outside, and then Punk was like, oh, obviously, like, they kind of talked about the whole no friends in the Rumble, but it's like, what about Sunday morning? Are we going to be friends? Like, Is this business to you? Is this personal to you? Like, Punk was like, I know how to separate business and personal. What is it for you? Is this business for you? He's like, are we still going to be friends? And I think Cody kind of stiffed him right there. And I think Cody kind of made it obvious that they're not as big of friends as Punk thinks they are. I think there was a small little spot there where Cody made it seem like he doesn't like Punk.
Really?
Because Cody at one point had said, oh, there you are looking out for me again. Like, I don't think he appreciates that.
Yeah.
And I could be totally wrong. I could be totally wrong about that. Hunter, I could be 1,000,000% wrong that maybe Cody is appreciative of it, but he just doesn't like it being thrown in his face, which I can understand that as well. And then, like I had said, Punk kind of congratulated Cody for making his name his own in that way, and kind of just continuing to bring him up. But then where it really got weird for me, or not for me, but I thought it was going to get weird, was, and they kind of did this back and forth because they both said it in their own way. Punk had said, oh, you were born into this. You started on third base.
Yeah.
You were born into the wrestling world. I wasn't. My dad was a plumber. He was a blue collar. And then he goes,
electrician.
I think I'm more
Close
the
enough.
American dream than you are. I was like, he did not just say that.
I was like, oh shit. Why does that keep happening?
Okay. But anyway, he says, I'm more the American dream than you are. I was just like, what? I was kind of like just very weirded out. Not weirded out by it, but I was like, huh. Let's see. Hold on a second. So then, let's see. And then Cody brings up the pipe bomb and says, you know, everything you said, Punk, I did.
Yeah.
He said, and then he was like, I walked, you talked. Or I talked, you walked.
No, you walked.
Yeah.
You talked, I walked.
I talked, you. Or, yeah, sorry. I said that backwards.
Because he talked about doing everything.
He did everything that he said in that pipe bomb, whereas Cody, or Punk, had left.
Yep.
And then Cody kind of says how he was inspired by that, but then brings up that he's like, Punk, you left. I had to be the one that stepped up, but at the same time, we didn't really see that because Cody was not a main eventer.
Yeah, true.
Cody was a mid-carder at best, and then he became freaking Stardust. Who Stardust is going to be a playable character in WWE 2k24, by the way. I'm just going to bring that up really quick.
Yes, sir.
This was like one of the worst things I've ever seen.
And undashing Cody Rhodes with the mask.
Yeah. So Cody says he then picked up the torch, which I didn't believe. I don't really see a world where Cody says where he picked up the torch from Punk and with everything he left. It's like, you were nothing, dude. Like, you were in Legacy. You were a tag team with a prison inmate now. You rode the coattails of Randy Orton for a while.
Yeah.
And then Cody had said kind of what Punk said to him in his own way, but everything he talked about, Cody then goes, I'm more CM Punk than you. I was like, oh, here we go. And then that's when Punk first he took the jacket off. He's like, it's getting hot in here. He's like, you're more CM Punk than me, and kind of got in his face. And then, they kind of not argued, but kind of went back and forth on that for a minute. And then they kind of dropped their one-liners, and Cody goes to leave the ring, and Punk grabs at him. They end up pretty much nose to nose, almost looking angry. And just
they looked like they were trying. They looked like they were trying not to laugh.
I think, but I think it looked a lot more serious.
Yeah, it was sick. That stare down was sick.
I think that we really needed.
Yeah.
For sure. I think to really start picking up that rivalry.
For sure.
But at the end of the day, I think at one point in time it is going to be a rivalry. But I think it won't be until after WrestleMania. Because I could see them running a storyline once Punk is champion. I'm just hoping that Cody or Punk isn't a transitional champion.
He probably will.
I can't see that happening. I think he'd leave again. I think if they came to him and said, you're going to drop the title, I think he'd leave.
When Punk was talking about how someone came back and blah, blah, blah.
He wasn't talking about him, even though he said he was. I forgot to bring that up.
He was obviously talking about The Rock. But,
The Rock.
Yeah. That was sick.
Yeah.
That part of the promo was...
I forgot to bring that up, yeah.
That part of the promo was sick.
He hinted at it, and I think a lot of people understood, and that's why he had to clarify, I'm talking about me. Like, no, you weren't.
No, you were not. Stop lying.
You're talking about what The Rock did to you when he came back and took the main event of WrestleMania from you against John Cena.
Yeah.
Which
I feel like could have been...
I think Punk was...
What?
No, what were you going to say?
I feel like could have been one of the best main events of all time. John Cena versus CM Punk.
Punk versus Cena. I mean, Punk has always said Cena was his favorite guy to go against.
That match would have been insane at WrestleMania.
110%. I think, listen, Rock versus Cena was great. Because there was a genuine, like, disdain.
Yeah.
Like, they don't like each other.
Yep.
And, you know, The Rock has even said it. I don't know if John's ever said it. But I still remember the line when Cena came after The Rock for writing his promo on his wrist. And Dwayne didn't like that. But I think I'm like looking back at it now. I think Cena Punk would have worked better because we've seen them do it.
Yep.
And they've always worked great matches together.
Of course.
And I think you can still build that as these two don't like each other. You can build that on camera. But if you've got two guys that don't like each other on camera, but love working together, you are going to have a great match. I think we had great matches between Punk and Cena.
Money in the Bank.
Now, whether it happens again, I doubt it.
Money in the Bank 2011. Probably one of my favorite matches of all time.
I don't want to talk about it.
That match was sick.
I don't want to.
Come on.
I don't want to talk.
That match was sick. You know that match was good.
I ever said fuck CM Punk. It was a good match, but that might have been hated Punk after that. I was and still am a John Cena fanboy, but so I hated that.
Thank you for the follow, by the way. I still can't believe that shit.
Oh yeah, thanks, John. I hated Punk at that moment in time. But Punk, I think, has done a great job kind of reinventing himself as well.
Yeah.
I don't know why I randomly just brought that up. I think I'm just kind of looking for a point to talk about it. But seeing Punk back in WWE is just cool.
Of course, I still can't believe it happened.
I can't either. Like I already said this to you earlier, but like I texted you last night while watching Raw. I'm like, I can't believe this guy's back. So, but yeah, so that's all I've got.
Yeah.
For our episode notes today. I think this went pretty well.
For sure. That was fun.
All right, so what I don't know if this is a question I should ask in mid-recording of the show, but what is this going on? Like, what are we...
It's going on YouTube first.
Okay.
And then I'm going to convert it into an audio file.
Okay.
So it's going to go on RSS, which is a podcast, like, hub.
Okay.
And from RSS, I can upload it to each individual podcast site.
Oh, so you can do, like, Apple Podcasts, Spotify.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So
all right,
it's
well,
pretty much going on everything.
For those of you on YouTube, I'm going to try to look directly at the camera here. For those of you on YouTube, if you're just watching this, which you obviously are, it is also Tuesday, January 23rd. So if anything happens after this and you're wondering, oh, why didn't we talk about it? Well, that's because it didn't happen yet. If you're watching this after, which I don't know when he's posting this, but this is when it was recorded. Oh, okay, so he's just going to just throw it up there. Anyways, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, drop a like. I'm holding my mic way too close. The audio sounds like crap, probably. My bad.
Yeah, it does sound really bad.
So I like hold it here and get I get excited. Anyways, on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, that little red button down there. Drop a like, comment what you thought about everything we talked about. And if you're listening to this, hit that follow button on whatever it is you're listening to, whether it's on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, RSS, whatever that is. Whatever the follow button is or the subscribe button, hit those buttons, because the more we can grow, the more we appreciate you.
Follow on
Make sure
Twitter.
to tell your friends. Oh yeah, follow our Twitter too. We're gonna probably also be making an Instagram at some point. I did suggest that.
Yep.
To Noah. Oh, speaking of other person, so my boy's brother here is a very casual watcher, I've been told.
Yes.
who does watch the PLEs. So whenever we're talking about PLEs, or like the recap, he will probably be joining us.
Yes, for sure.
Because I was talking to him yesterday, and he said he's down.
Yep.
So there'll be 3 of us. You won't just have to hear our 2 stupid asses ramble on and on. Be a 3rd stupid ass.
I'm also working on a website right now for like top 10 lists,
Yes,
top 5 lists of like just everything.
Is there a way to
wrestling.
like post this to the
What?
website too?
I don't know.
Is there a way to like post this or like clips or something?
I don't know.
That's another thing we should do: make a TikTok and post clips
Yeah, for sure.
at some point.
You can do that.
But we'll get into that more often once we kind of really figure out how to make this podcast thing work, and if we even succeed at this, because this could fail. Let's hope it doesn't.
I'm going to work on the audio and stuff. This is our first episode, so I don't know if the audio is going to be good or not. But
Yeah, like we didn't even really like dry run this. This is like we just said record and let's shoot it.
Yes, sir. That's how you do it.
But again, for those of you watching on YouTube, hit that follow button or that subscribe button. Drop a like, comment down below what you thought and what your thoughts are about what we talked about. Who knows? Maybe we can even make episodes going through our comments and reacting to takes and things like that at some point. That would be. I feel it could be a lot of fun if once we start to like. Oh, here
Why?
it is again.
Why?
I don't know. I'm not even pressing any. Like I'm not moving. Like you can see my hands. But anyway, yeah. Hit that subscribe button. And again, if you're listening to this on whatever podcast app or website, make sure you hit that follow, subscribe button, whatever it is. And we'll see you whenever we see you. We don't really know what our schedule is going to look like recording-wise. We just kind of both had the time this morning to do it. So my schedule fluctuates so much that some days I have the time to do it, some days I don't. Depends on me and him, I guess, kind of what days we can make available
every day. So
yeah, so your schedule is constant. Mine's not.
It just depends on you, pretty much.
Yeah. So whenever I can make it work, obviously I'll just continue to keep you updated on what days I'm not working.
Yep.
And we can kind of go from there.
Yes, sir.
So thank you guys so much for listening. This is the Rhody Wrestling Recap Podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure, like I said, I'll say it again, hit those follow buttons. Tune in to more episodes, more fun, and more wrestling news. That's going to do it. Thank you guys. We'll see ya.
Peace.